Hey guys, so I was tagged by Amarissabellis, or my friend Carolina here on YouTube, to do the Weirdo Tag, so that's what I'm going to be doing for you today. I have all 15 questions here pulled up on my computer, so I'm going to be reading off my screen, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first question is, what's a nickname only your family calls you? Mostly my family calls me Nessa, or Vanessa if I'm in trouble, but Nessa is really popular. It's not something that just my family calls me because it's kind of what all my friends call me too. I know my Thea mentioned that when I was younger I used to always answer to Ningos sometimes. I'm not really sure what Ningos means. I mean, I grew up speaking Spanish but I don't speak Spanish anymore. So I'm not really sure what that means. If you have any idea what that means, you could let me know. That'd be great. But yeah, they called me Ningos and Nessa primarily. And then number 2, what's a weird habit of yours? I know I have more than one weird habit, but one that I'm definitely more aware of now because he pointed it out, but whenever I would hold Spencer's hand, I have a bad habit of like swinging it a lot just because I usually move a lot and I'm usually really like happy and stuff, so when I hold hands with him I'd swing my arm and making him swing his arm and I wouldn't even realize that I would be doing it, or especially if I got really excited, my hands move a lot and that would always drive him crazy. So that's one that I'm kind of aware of that I do, and I've tried to be a little bit more mindful of, but I don't know, I can't really help it. Do you have any weird phobias? I have an actual phobia. I have a couple actually. I'm actually really afraid of car crashes. I don't know why, but for some reason when I'm in the passenger seat of a car, which is pretty much always because I don't drive, I always imagine that an accident is going to happen even though we're clearly fine and, you know, everyone I spend time with and drive with is very responsible, but I just have this irrational fear that we're just going to die. It's in the cards that we're just going to die in a car accident, and they really freak me out. And I don't really know where I get it from. I know my grandma's kind of afraid of driving on the freeway, and she's a very cautious woman, but I think I just kind of took it a little too far. So I'm actually trying to work to get past that because I'm getting older and not driving is definitely proving to be kind of an inconvenience both to myself and to my friends. So trying to work through that, it's really hard for me just because I get scared and it's hard to not have like those visuals happening in your head, and it's hard telling the difference between what I think is going to happen and what's actually happening. So that's one. And another one that's really strange that I don't really tell a lot of people about is I don't like public bathrooms in general, but especially when I use a public bathroom, I don't like to flush the toilet when I'm still in there. I don't know what it is, but something about like a lot of toilets don't have a toilet seat over them, so when you flush, like all of the particles and stuff from, you know, the waste in the toilet is just like floating up in the air and, you know, soaking into your clothes and your skin, and that really grosses me out. So whenever I flush, I don't touch I always use my foot to push down on the little pedal if it's not automatic, and then I like get out of the stall as fast as I possibly can. So I make sure, like, flushing is the last thing I do. I make sure that I have everything all together and I have my purse grabbed, and then I kick the little flusher thing and then I bolt out of the stall. And I hate it when stalls are like have really sticky locks and then I'm trapped in with the nasty toilet while it's flushing. That's literally one of the most stressful things that happens to me sometimes, and it's not a phobia, I guess, but I don't know, I feel like it kind of is a phobia. Like, I really don't like to be in there. That really freaks me out. So anyway, number 4, what's a song you secretly love to blast and belt out when you're alone? One that I've actually been singing a lot recently is Taylor Swift's new song, the We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. It does not apply to my life, in case any of you are wondering, but I actually sing it a lot. I think it's really catchy, and I love how like angsty and like she is, and it's just so catchy, and I really want to cover it on my channel, but I don't want people to like, you know, think it's, you know. Anyway, I really like it, and some of my friends don't really like it very much, so it's kind of embarrassing, but I don't know, I don't really care. I think it's a catchy song, and I really like singing it. So it's not really one song, it's more so of an album, but I have this really guilty pleasure of blasting the Tarzan soundtrack, more specifically the ones that Phil Collins sings on. I absolutely love those songs, and I sing them all the time. When I was packing to move out of both of my houses, I made sure I was listening and singing along to them obnoxiously, and I don't know why, I just really like it, and I just get overly emotional about it, but yeah. Okay, anyway, and then number 5, what's one of your biggest pet peeves? I have a lot of pet peeves, like things about people's personalities that really irritate me, but I would say just like, you know, day-to-day things. I really don't like it when people pop their knuckles or like pop their neck. I roll my neck a lot, and you know how you get like that popcorn action when you roll your neck? That's fine, but like when people do like that jerk thing, I hate that so much. Or when people just like blatantly pop all of their knuckles, I think that's really gross. I mean, I'm kind of hypocritical because I do crack my back a lot, but that's because my back always hurts. But people, I feel like a lot of them just pop their knuckles just cause. I don't like it when people do that. An even bigger pet peeve that makes me so angry is when people sing a song, but they don't feel it. Say they're singing a really sad song about like their dad dying, and they're sitting there and they're just like, they could be singing about waffles. That really just, that floors me. I get so angry about that. So that's definitely an even bigger pet peeve than people popping their knuckles. I'd rather you pop your knuckles and crack your neck all day than sing a song like that, where it's just really stale and you don't really feel anything. You're just singing because you like the sound of your own voice. That just flat out kind of upsets me. And then number 6, what's one of your nervous habits? If my mother were watching this, she would definitely say this answer, but I do this a lot, and actually I found that Spencer does this a lot too, but I have this really bad habit where I chew on like the inside of my mouth. Like I'll bite my lip and then I'll just like make my way and start chewing on the side of my mouth. I can't do it now because I'm not thinking about it, but when I get nervous I definitely do it a lot, or when I'm thinking a lot I do that. And I didn't actually realize I was doing it until my lips started bleeding one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really need to stop doing that. It's also gotten a lot better because I've been on Invisalign, so I have my aligners in, and you can't really bite into things the same way when you have Invisalign aligners in, so I don't really do it anymore. But I know before my mouth would always be kind of sore, and I would never really understand why, and I didn't realize that I was actually chewing on the side of my mouth. I know it's kind of gross, but I do that a lot. So now I just kind of like bite my lip, and it's a lot less painful. It doesn't really do anything, especially because I have my aligners in, so. And then number 7, what side of the bed do you sleep on? You'd think I'd have the whole bed to myself, but Ralph may be a tiny dog, but he's very, very needy, and he likes to sleep right on the middle of my bed at the very top. I can't just sleep in the middle like a normal person. I have to choose the right side, so I always sleep on the right side of the bed, and I usually make myself comfortable around Ralph just because he thinks he's king of the castle and can take up the entire bed even though he weighs less than 10 pounds. So that's a little frustrating, but what are you gonna do? And then, what was your first stuffed animal and its name? So this is a stuffed animal I've had for a really long time, but it wasn't when I was a little girl. I've only had him for a few years, and this is Pig. And his hands used to be together, and he used to have a little blanket, because before I got Pig, I got a blanket, which sounds really strange to call it, but it's a Hello Kitty blanket. It's over there and Ralph's on it, so I don't want to take it from him, but it's called my Whoopee. I don't like calling it a blanket, that sounds weird, but it's my Whoopee, and it has little frilly edges and stuff, and I used to take it with me whenever I would sleep over anywhere, and I called it my Whoopee, and I've had it for a really long time, and I got it from a really, really close friend of the family a long time ago. And so for our first Valentine's Day, Spencer actually got me a little pig who had also a matching Whoopee that looked just like mine, and it was frilly at the edges just like mine. And his Whoopee actually fell apart, so I went ahead and untied his little hands, so he's just kind of a free man now. But I've had Pig for a really long time, and he actually has kind of seen better days. I try to keep him hidden away because Ralph has a bad habit of like chewing on him, and I don't want him to ruin him, especially because he was kind of a delicate stuffed animal to begin with, and he's just really he's getting a little old. But yeah, that's my first stuffed animal, and his name is indeed Pig. And then number 9, what's the drink you always order at Starbucks? I don't really go to Starbucks very often for coffee. There's a coffee place on campus or just off campus called Dutch Brothers, and I think they're a lot better. I like their coffee much, much more. Or Extreme Bean Coffee, which is really fantastic. If you live in Tempe or the Phoenix area and you've never been to Extreme Bean, you need to go there. It's seriously liquid crack. It's so delicious. But anyway, my drink that I always get at Dutch Brothers, which is actual coffee, is the Annihilator, and I get it with soy, and it's delicious. It's kind of, I think it's their hazelnut drink, and I really love it. But when I do go to Starbucks, I usually either get a soy caramel macchiato or I get a refresh tea. I probably get the refresh tea a lot more often. It's a lot cheaper, and I only go to Starbucks to get tea there if I'm having like a sore throat and I have a Pitchforks performance and I'm kind of in a pinch. Then I will get refresh tea, but otherwise I don't really buy coffee there very often. And then number 10, what's the beauty rule you preach but never actually practice? Honestly, I would definitely say wearing SPF. I tell people a lot of times to wear SPF, and I'm actually really horrible about it. I wore SPF today and I wore it yesterday, but I tend to forget a lot of times. And to be fair, I don't go outside every day just because it is so hot here. But you know, when I do go outside and I don't wear SPF, I definitely like feel it on my skin, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I didn't wear SPF today. What am I doing? This is horrible. And I would like take cover in shade or something indoors really close by because it's really, really hot out and the sun is horrible for your skin, and I really don't want to damage my skin or, you know, increase my chances of getting cancer or to get premature wrinkles, because I don't want to look old. I would really appreciate it if I looked this way for a long time. So definitely SPF, you know, do as I say, not as I do, but wear every day. And next question is, which way do you face in the shower? This is kind of a strange question because I think this implies that most people stay still in the shower. I don't. I am a very mobile shower taker. I'm moving pretty much the entire time. So if I am washing my hair, then, you know, obviously I have to like get my hair in there and blah, so I have to like face away from the water. But like I wash my face and everything, and I am just like constantly moving just depending on where things are in my shower. So I don't really know how to answer that question because I want to make sure that I rinse out all the soap and everything too, and like, you know, scrub everywhere. And I don't think you can really get everything covered if you don't move and if you're just facing the same way the entire time. I don't know. Does anyone else feel that way? I don't know if I'm alone on this, but that's kind of weird. Number 12, do you have any weird body skills? I am probably one of the most physically unskilled people on the face of the planet. I can't really do anything. I'm not athletic by any means. I'm not super, you know, flexible in weird places. I'm not double jointed, but I guess it is still my body. But I do actually have perfect pitch. You know, obviously it's not always spot on, but if you ask me what key a certain song starts in, I can immediately sing you that song in that key. It's actually really, really hard for me to sing songs in a different key for that reason, just because once I learn a song, it's like permanently implanted in my memory in the correct key. And if you like tell me to like sing a certain note, I can sing you that note within reason. I have a hard time with F sharp for some reason. I get F sharp and F mixed up a lot, I think. But, you know, for the most part, I pretty much have perfect pitch, which I honestly didn't know was weird or like rare, just because I thought that everyone could just do that and that people just intentionally sang things in different keys just to be funny, but I guess that's not really the case. So I guess that's the only cool skill I have, if you could even call it that. So I don't know, I'm pretty lame. 13, what's your favorite comfort food or food that's bad but you love to eat it anyways? That's pretty much everything I eat, to be completely honest. Up until recently, I have had a really poor diet for a really long time. I honestly eat fast food or like really overly processed food or things that are just completely terrible for you, and I would just eat it all the time anyway because I like food and I like what I like. So when I want to eat something, I just eat it. And I'm learning that that's not good, and not so much from a weight standpoint because I don't really care, you know, how much I weigh, but it's just more so of a healthy standpoint. Like it definitely started to take a toll on my body, and when it started affecting how makeup applies to my skin, that was where I drew the line, and that's where I decided, okay, I really need to fix this, because if it's getting in the way of makeup, which is like the one thing that like I like to have full control over what happens, then that's when we have a problem. So I would say in particular, I really like hot wings. Hot wings is like definitely like a comfort food for me. I love it. It's I think it's my favorite food actually. Until recently, I really am starting to get into sushi a lot, but hot wings with like a ton of hot sauce and like ranch dressing is, oh, I could eat it anytime, anywhere. I don't care, like any time of day. I would eat hot wings for breakfast every day if I could. I really, really love it. So yeah, really like hot wings. And then 14, what's a phrase or exclamation you always say? If you follow me on my vlog channel, you probably already know this, but we are very weird, and we do this thing where we speak in accents all the time, and we're just very strange people. I know I say like too much, but I do say, can we just take a moment too? And it's always about something completely ridiculous. Like, you know, in the car the other day, my roommate Kimmy tweeted about it, but I said, can we all just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that I was amazing at recorder? Because I was. In middle school, I was really like obnoxiously good at recorder, and it did not help me make friends at all. That's just an example. I would always say, can we just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that so-and-so has the most amazing hair? can I just take a moment to say, Adrienne, you look amazing today? And just like things like that, you know, we definitely say that a lot. I'm sure there are others, and if my friends are watching, you should definitely let me know. Quote some of them in the comments. I would definitely love to know. Number 15, time to sleep. What are you actually wearing? I'm horrible. I'm the worst with pajamas. Honestly, a lot of times I will just sleep in my clothes unless it's like this, where it's like something really nice. I don't want something to happen to it when I sleep, but I a lot of times will just wear like a t-shirt and like shorts. My favorite thing to wear to bed is a t-shirt with like, I have like a lot of those spandex shorts from when I used to dance, and tube socks. It's honestly, I'm always like the perfect temperature, and I'm always really super comfortable, and I just feel perfect when I sleep in a t-shirt and spandex and tube socks. It's like the best outfit. But I have like a couple pairs of pajama pants, and I'll usually wear that with like a cami too. So it just depends on how lazy I am and what's clean, because I don't have very many pajamas. So also, I really like wearing comfortable dresses to bed, like dresses that I wouldn't wear out, that are just really soft. I have this really obnoxious cheetah print one that I wear to bed sometimes because I wouldn't dare wear it in public, but just kind of whatever's clean, I guess. So anyway, that is the last question, so that completes the weirdo tag. I would like to tag Kimberly or Miss Kimmy Kiwi, and also Natalie or Purple Stars Makeup here to do this tag, so I would really love to see your responses if you haven't done this already. And also, if you are watching and you would like to do this tag, feel free to do that and leave a video response, or you could also answer the questions below in a comment. That'd be totally fine by me. I would love to see and hear your responses to this tag, just because it is really weird and random. So I hope you guys are all having a really fantastic day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.